welcome back, everybody that's returning, and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. I hope everybody is having a good day. Whenever you get to watching this reading, or good afternoon, good night, just depending on when you watch this reading. So make sure that you watch all the readings on this platform and my other platform. Each reading will hold an Easter egg of personal knowledge that will help you with your spiritual journey and help you advance. And you can advance very quickly by watching these readings spiritually. So if you're wanting to attain new abilities, access your psychic power, I suggest watching these readings because these readings will provide that for you. I've also put the link to this book that I'm going to be reading a little bit from today. Okay. And it is called The Truth of God by Michael STEADMAN. Okay. So again, I'm going to remind everybody of this one thing I read yesterday. You are God having this experience, not an extension or a part of God. You are God, not the existence in the fullness, but nonetheless God. You're still God. So I hope everybody's having a good day. God bless you guys. Please like this video, tap the notification bell. Okay, all that good stuff is really important and will help this platform. So I think what we're going to talk about today is the beliefs colorize our creation. So we're calling upon the Most High God and the Holy Spirit. We're asking that they can be with us for this reading and for every other. We're also asking that our spiritual team of highest light and residents, including our ancestors and our spirit guides, put a protective cloak around us, shielding us from all negativity and keeping us safe. We also ask that they continue to bless and prosper us while we're here and continue to guide us towards our destiny and fulfilling our divine life purpose. Thank you for everything that you've done, God. We love you. We love you. We love you. All glory, honor, praise, and worship goes to you. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so by watching my videos, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my videos, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling. Also, this contract includes no copyright, no gatekeep, no shadow banning, no slander, no gossip, no, voodoo, witchcraft, that type of thing. All right. And my legal disclaimer is in the description box below. And also, if any of you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 Cash App or a $20 PayPal, and then you can ask your question, and I'll use a different deck of cards to answer your question, and I will pause the collective reading. Okay, so we're going to read from the chapter that says, Beliefs Colorize Our Creation. Each one of us is creating the reality that we are experiencing from our own thoughts and beliefs. So things that come into our experience are colorized by your beliefs. Like colored lenses that we have to look through, each one influences what we see. The more lenses, aka beliefs, we have to look through, the less clear, welcome in Shaman Maria, the less clear our image and reality is. So during different parts of our life, certain beliefs serve us because they will fit with the experience that we're living. But if circumstances change, that belief may not serve us anymore, and yet it is still influencing the reality that is being created, but now in a negative way. Okay, what I was just shown when I was reading that is how we will have beliefs when we're teenagers, like about our personal freedom, like we could be emo, we could be, whatever, goth, we could be like stoner, whatever it is. Like we'll have certain beliefs, but if we don't, like, we can mature and move on. Welcome in, Fashionista, from those beliefs, like just like a teenager would, right? Like they'll grow up and maybe not be the same way that they were when they were a teen. We'll move on and grow and be a different person than what those beliefs were. But if we don't get rid of those beliefs, we'll still associate with them, thus drawing those types of experiences into a reality. So that's what I was just shown. It says most people do not have an internal monitoring system to tell them that a belief that once served them no longer does, although everyone has an external one in the form of what is happening around them. So you can, anytime that you feel something that's uncomfortable, anytime that something doesn't feel good, that's when I would be asking, do I have a belief that is causing this? Because you're going to it's almost going to come back every single time as yes, you do have a belief that's causing this. So even intuitive people that have a form of inner communication, which is what I'm trying to get you guys to develop by getting this book, ask a question and receive an answer of some sort of hearing, seeing, or feeling. Most psychic people can ask a question and intuitively feel the answer, but not everybody is psychic, but everybody is clairsentient. So clairsentient is clear feelings. That's your gut feeling, your like when something bad is about to happen and you can just sense it. That's the feeling that everybody does have. So it says their answers are also colorized by their beliefs. Right? Beliefs are limiting by definition. God, your higher self, has no limitations. And since we are God having this experience, we need not place any upon ourselves. Detach from all beliefs, which in chapter 4, it talks about the mind technique. And that's a technique that I use on a day-to-day basis to get rid of beliefs. It says, because the beliefs that serve us, the ones that are in line with our highest good, will naturally continue. The sun will still rise in the east and set in the west without having to believe in it. And I say that all the time. I get that from this book. When we focus on the illusion of fear in whatever form, anger, lack, rage, betrayal, hate, etc., we allow our beliefs to draw negative experience into our creation. Belief that we hold, even ones that we are not aware of, like subconscious beliefs, the ones that are back in our mind where we don't consciously go, basically, are like magnets that pull occurrences into our reality, making us aware that they exist. Sometimes that's the only reason that an experience will come to you, is because you have a belief in the back of your mind or somewhere within you that that is going to happen. It says that these are what create our storylines, okay? So these experiences will usually cause a negative emotion to arise within you, even if it is just an uneasy feeling. All right. I think I'm going to read this next part too, just the first part of it. An interesting fact about living in this creation is that it is supposed to feel real. We touch something and it feels solid. We look at something and it feels solid. Every time we look in the mirror, we see a body that we recognize as ourselves. Even when we find out that we are God having this experience, we understand all that we see is consciousness seemingly real. The people, places, and things we experience are fluid, and that we encounter that version of said people, places, and things that shifts to match whatever our focus is. What we still can forget is that our physical body is a part of that shifting consciousness. It will change to match our new focus. Our body is not a part of who we really are. It's really not. And if you could see who you've been in other lifetimes and your higher self, you would understand that this body is not, it is a manifestation of our consciousness, but it is not the entirety of who we are, right? So it says our body is not a part of who we really are, even though it seems indistinguishable from the personal I that we are so connected to in every moment. The body helps us distract us and keep us in the storyline of our creation. The five senses keep our focus outward, and the body is the control center for those senses. The outer senses are a lot of fun, a lot of good experience in our God's eyes, basically, because that's what these are. But their inner senses are the ones that allow us to focus somewhere other than our body. That's why going within is so important, because it gets us past our ego and it helps us go right past the body of us being trapped and thinking that this is all that we are, because it's not. We are God having this experience. We're much more than just this body. It can be tempting when we find out we are God and that we are creating everything we are experiencing to want to take a more active role in the design of that creation. We are taking a role, but in a passive way, by experiencing life and registering what makes us feel good. But taking a more active role, even with the best intentions, we could think bring joy. We could be thinking bring love, joy, and peace to people's other species and our physical bodies. We would not see the bigger picture or all the little things that the universe would be doing behind the scenes without us trying to micromanage and figure out every detail of what needs to happen to get the desired result. We could create from our limited human perspective and understanding, thinking we know better. There is that path where the mind tries to control everything. Most people subscribe to that path. It's a very human thing. It's just the ego. But by taking that path, we will never experience how glorious it will be if we just got out of the way and just allow ourselves to be. The more we take care of the conditions within us as the outer occurrences appear, which is why the mind technique in chapter 4 is so important, and keep our focus on the positive aspects of our being, compassion, gratitude, joy, unconditional love, the more all of the seemingly negative situations we perceive outside of us will fade and be replaced with those that match our new positive outflow at that time. Example, John, while opening his heart chakra, noticed his throat chakra expanding also. He thought that was interesting, so he began expanding all of the chakras. John had been shown that by opening his heart chakra, he was sending unconditional love into all creation. This act of giving is a reflection of God, us giving unconditional love, what all the aspects of God feel like in this creation to all of God's creation. John thought that if opening the heart chakra was good, then opening all of them had to be better. This is a trap a lot of people fall into. John was thinking from the human self, where it is a good thing to have all chakras open and in balance, but not from the God self interacting with the human creation. He was thinking that from his ego self, not from his higher self, right? John was getting lost in the storyline. He began to notice his throat getting scratchy and sore. Within a day, he was feeling sick in every area that he had placed his focus for expanding the chakras. Oh, welcome in, Sharon. Blessings to you as well. What he had not realized was that he had bought into the belief that he was his body. Again, a very human thing. One belief can generate another until it's out of control, manifesting into the physical creation. Once manifest, the experience will seem very real, pulling us even deeper. That is like literally how I want to say the Matrix like gets a hold of us. It hooks us, it sinks us, reels us in. And it's through our perception of us believing that we are our body and that we are this physical creation. And so that's how I feel like we get trapped in the matrix, is that we'll start to go, oh, I want to advance this and I want to expand that. And we'll not realize that we're doing that from our human perspective. And we should really be going to our highest perspective, which is knowing that I am God, having this experience, looking out through these eyes and connecting with that higher consciousness. So I felt like, reading parts of this book, I know that not all of you are going to get the book, and the book may not be for everybody, but it has helped me with my journey. And so I'm going to use it to help you guys help yourselves as well. So you can understand that as things shift, how to basically allow yourself to just be, and how to allow that higher consciousness to come through. Okay. So basically, my message for you guys today has to do about somebody that is like really stupid. Like this. Okay. The people that keep betraying you will need you in the future. So they might want to be mindful of that. But I spelled mindful wrong. I wonder if I can edit that. I can. Okay, good. So yeah. Oh, you're going to read it later. Okay, awesome. So yeah. These people, they don't know that they're going to need you in the future. That's the thing. If they knew that, maybe they would think twice about betraying you. But I get that these people, they don't think that they're ever going to need you. They're stuck in their pride. These people are very prideful, the people that you're dealing with. There may be something significant about the game Skyrim. I don't know what that's about. Maybe you're thinking about getting a gaming console. Maybe you like to play Skyrim. Maybe these people like to play games. 6. These people like to play games with other people's money. That's what I'm getting. And basically this whole debacle that these people are trying to stir up is all about you having finances. Demonic entity and false narrative. This person could have been saying that you're driven by some type of demon, not by God. That's such a lie. These people are the people that are so freaking demonic. It is in your room now. Skip the other day. Oh, good. Oh my gosh. Wow. And the wildflower. I love that. So these people need to give up this false narrative that they've been saying about y'all, because they are literally trying to make it like you have some demonic force. Like, this is such bullshit. These people are false prophets. I don't know if they subscribe to a certain religion, but there is nobody in this religion that they go to that thinks that they're legit. Like, these people are stupid. They're stupid for trying to paint this picture about you. And this is a picture that they hold from their beliefs. Just how, like, we were talking about how beliefs will, when a belief gets set into motion, it'll start to manifest and it will seem very real, right? Because it's starting to manifest. And that's how the matrix gets us with our beliefs. It keeps us trapped. And so that's why using the mind technique is so important. But these people are types of people that they want to believe that you're possessed because they don't want to believe that they've been lying about a prophet, a real prophet. These people want to believe that you are under the influence or control of some type of demonic entity. But they are. That the irony is that these people are actually the ones that are being influenced because they're over here being a liar face. I just literally saw a Pinocchio, like the nose growing, liar face. Okay. I forget what it was that Pinocchio lied about, but I don't think that's relevant. I just feel like these people, they're intentionally, they don't want to believe that you're a good person because then that would make them the bad person, right? So that these people are trying to villainize you or make you some type of, like, I just heard Cruella de Vil. Like, you guys probably love animals. What is this person talking about? They could be a Cruella de Vil. You know how she's all like crazy as fuck looking and she she plans on kidnapping the 101 Dalmatians to turn them into fur coats? You're dealing with somebody that's got an outrageous personality. That's all I could say. 3, and you've mastered something when it comes to this. When it comes to your life, like, you are not under the influence of a demon. First of all, I would be able to sense that. And you guys don't give anything other than good energy. So I'm wondering why people don't like you, because it's weird. When you guys are mainly positive, you know, I mean, everybody has their days and we all have our moments, but you guys are generally positive people. You would be the Labrador in that movie. Oh my God. Seriously. I love that movie. That was like, I used to watch all of the Disney classics. And I think that they're pretty good. I don't like the new ones where they, and I do know that mermaids they can be, melanated. But for me, I don't know. I don't think that how they're making like real life action Disney movies, I don't think that they sync up. They don't align very well with the originals. But I am excited for the new Frozen movie to come out. Okay, it's going to be a real life person Frozen movie, and it's going to have Chris Hemsworth as the I don't know, the one that's in love with Elsa. So I will definitely probably be watching that one. But yeah. So these people feel like if they feel like if you're actually being compelled by God or driven by the Most High, these people feel like the Most High is demonic. And I don't know why they're so these people blame God for everything that goes on in their life. God is not the reason that these people are possessed. These people are possessed because of whatever they've engaged in. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that they're just trying to open up our perspective, by putting different people that don't really match the story, but they should stay as close to the Brothers Grimm as possible because that's the origination of the majority of the tales that are created. And they really water them down because they have to remove all of the cannibalism and violence that the Brother Grimms have in their folk tales. See, the Brother Grimms, they weren't writing children's tales. They were writing German folk tales, and they were trying to preserve the stories that existed. And so it was just Disney that was like, those are great stories. I'm going to capitalize off of that. And they did. I like the way that they changed the Little Mermaid up in the original Disney because the Brothers Grimm was sad. My God, saddest story ever for her. So there's a false narrative going around that you are a demonic entity. Okay, even if your higher self has been a demon in the past or a fallen watcher or whatever, people that still think this war is going on in the heavens are delusional. Okay. Everything in creation serves a purpose, and we all serve God, whether we know it or not. Like we all are being led. So I have read for so many fallen watchers that have gone through things that, they kind of know that they're fallen watchers, and they have specific knowledge on how to help this planet. That's why they're not in the heavens, because they're needed on the earth. So you just have to have the right lens to look at things through. I don't get that you guys are demonically possessed, and I don't pick up any demonic energy off of you. Point blank, period. If it was there, I would be able to sense it. But I do feel it coming from these people, and I feel like whatever they are attached to is what's compelling them to lie on you. Earth sign energy. So these people are obsessed with your finances, and they feel like if they can get other people to believe that you're evil, then people won't listen to you. That is literally going against what God's intention is. Because if God wants you to be heard by others because you're supposed to be here to guide people, then if somebody's trying to slander your good name and make people believe you're possessed by the devil or whatever, when it's them, then that's going against God's plan. So you just have to understand that these people, their strife is not so much with you as it is with the Most High. These people hate God. And I'm sorry for saying that, God, but these people, why? I'll tell you why they hate God. They hate God because they feel like God is responsible for them not being like you. Okay. They feel like they're going to blame the creator rather than blaming themselves because we all have the ability to create our realities with our thoughts and our beliefs. God is not over here thinking thoughts for us. The Most High Source Creator is a positive energy that allows us to experience free will and think the things we want to think and say the things we want to say. That's all on us. These people are trying to put all this responsibility on the Most High, that it's not the Most High's responsibility to fix these people's problems. And sometimes we think that it is God's responsibility to fix everything because we've forgotten that we are God. Our higher selves are God. We can fix things, but it's through tapping into that higher consciousness and getting past the ego and the beliefs that limit us, basically. So, like, for example, this person believes that they're not enough. This earth sign person, they believe that they're not enough in some type of way. They've got a self-worth issue going on. And so they don't feel that they can do what you do because they don't think that they're enough to. But they're blaming God because you are enough to do whatever this shamanistic healing energy work is, right? And so you got somebody feeling like things are not fair. That's the way they perceive things. And this person also feels like they have to go to a demonic entity to get even 1/4 of the blessings that you receive naturally. This person has already sold their soul. They're empty on the inside. Confirmation. This person's also wearing a mask, and they worship some type of weird demon. I don't know which one it is. I don't think that it's Baal. I don't think it's Moloch. I don't think it's that. I think it's a different one. Okay, hold on. Let me find out what this name. I just heard Gray Marie, and I know that's one of the Ars Goetia. I have written initiations for almost of all of the Ars Goetia. Let me see what this one's purpose is. Okay, so Gray Murray's purpose is to reveal the past, present, and future, to find hidden treasures, and to procure, that word's hard to say, procure the love of women. Gray Maria is also associated with other abilities like emotional healing, casting spells, and controlling elements like fire and water, and is known for being a strong and powerful duke who governs over 26. No, it's more legions than that. Okay, when it was written, it was 26. So basically, Gray Maria can show up as a female or a male. I don't know what this thing's talking about, how it's associated with lust. No, I get that it's literally associated with telling the future. So this person, they feel like you can read the future naturally and through your natural God-given ability, and that you don't have to go to a demon to ask it to read the future. So that's what this is about. So they're bent out of shape about that you don't have to sell your soul. You don't have to do any type of nonsense. The demons will listen to you. If you tell them to leave you alone, the demons will leave you alone. It's these people that keep calling upon the demons and trying to get them to do something to you. This person was using witchcraft, using wishing upon jinns, wishing upon stars, whatever. And they were trying to get this demon to tell them your future. Basically, they're trying to energy harvest off of you, trying to put you in poverty, lack. These people are vampires and shapeshifters. I don't think they could have anticipated you like authentically having a real talent. These people don't believe in that. They also wanted you to be bound to having to go through the same methods that they have to go through, aka witchcraft. You don't have to do witchcraft to create. What would the Most High God do? The Most High God is going to clear all this away and block this person from your energy. I think what I'm getting from the Most High is that you've already learned the lesson when it comes to this person, that you know when people are wearing a mask, you know when they're not being their real self, and you can sense when somebody's trying to hide. They're trying to hide their energy. This person, you got them triggered. These people could have been perpetually trying to trigger God's wrath. I feel like these people were trying to get you judged by something, and nothing has come forward to judge you. So this person's getting judged. I feel like this person's angry that you are getting popularity, that you are gaining traction, that you're, I'm seeing a plane taking off, that you're taking off here. These people are remote viewing you, actively making a wish against you. Somebody doesn't want to see you come into good fortune, but that is your destiny. So this will happen for you whether they want it to or not. Confirmation. And this is why I think abusing the power to remote view, these people are trying to look into your life to see what you're working on so that they can try to do something similar. They're not going to be able to get that type of detail when they don't have the real ability to remote view. Remote viewing is no easy task. Oh, you did. Thank you, Phoenix Empress. Go ahead and ask your question when you're ready. Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll do some Holy Fire Reiki as well. So yeah, let's see what else this says here. Oh, we're never your friend. This person was always trolling. Surprise, surprise. We're not really surprised with that, actually. Oh, I feel like sometimes people will befriend you guys and then, oh, and go ahead and ask your question whenever you're ready. But yeah, I feel like sometimes people, they think that you guys, what shadow aspect of you is asking to be integrated next? Interesting. Okay. Okay, so I just heard umbrella kinesis. Let me see if that's an actual thing. Let's see. How do you spell umbrella? Is it with a U on oh, maybe it's umbra kinesis. Yeah. Okay. What does that mean? It's a supernatural power to generate and manipulate darkness and shadows. So you know what I'm feeling like this is stemming from the goddess Nyx. I'm going to type her name into the chat. Okay. So this is where this ability comes from. You can actually bend shadows. NYX. Nyx. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that Nyx is no, not the cosmetics. Nyx, goddess of night. Okay. So Nyx, wow, she's actually really pretty, is a primordial Greek goddess of the night, a powerful and mysterious deity born from chaos. She is the mother of many important figures, including Hypnos, sleep, and Thanatos, one of my favorite, which is death. Nyx rules over the night, and even Zeus reportedly respected her power and feared her displeasure, as shown as when she protected her son Hypnos from his wrath in Homer's Iliad. I did not know that. It says, parentage, she is the daughter of chaos. Her consort is her husband is Erebus, the god of darkness. Her children are Hypnos. Um, Hypnos is the same person as the Sandman. And Thanatos, which is Thanos, right? Benevolent god of death, and carries the spirits of violent death. Jeez. The myth from the Iliad highlights her immense power when Zeus was enraged at Hypnos for helping Hera. Hypnos fled to Nyx for protection, and Zeus did not dare to harm him for the fear of angering the night itself. Dang. So her Roman equivalent is Nox. Interesting. So, yeah, in Hesiod's theogony, she is the offspring of chaos and the mother of Aether as well. And Aether is that higher air. So, the personification of nighttime. I don't know if you were afraid of darkness when you were, yeah, how do we bend shadows? Um, I don't know. I've never done it before, but I think that it's probably by focusing on what I would do is focus on a dark spot in the room and then start to imagine what you want that shadow to turn into, and it'll start becoming more solid. But that's kind of what I'm getting. That you can cloak yourself in shadow energy and darkness, and people will not be able to pick up on you where you are basically and what you're doing. That's what I'm getting. Okay, which deck is it? Really? The archetypes? Interesting. Yeah, I wish that they would. I'm going to have to look and see if they have a Greek deck because that would be really good if they had a Greek deck. But what I'm getting is that if you were afraid of darkness as a child, it could have been because or at nighttime or being in the dark. It could have been because of this ability. Like your imagination could have gotten the best of you, and it could have been this ability that you were tapping into is what I'm getting. Especially if you saw things as a child, like move across your room, that could have literally been you manifesting. So I like the energy. Look at this, the self. And look at that shadow, that darkness right there. So it is like projecting that outwards. I think that that's so interesting that that picture looks like that. And I would have never noticed that this is somebody's shadow right there until like right now. Yeah, it is a really pretty card. I love the colors on it. So tapping into your own shadow energy is basically you're already doing the shadow integration. So you integrating this ability and tapping into the wisdom that Nyx has. Yeah, the fault line. It's going to trigger something positive here. Maybe it's going to get you past being afraid of the darkness or anything that is dark. Because when you can control the shadows, what do you need to be afraid of? You see energies as pixels of color. That completely makes sense. Oh my gosh. The animal. Yeah, this is going to help you integrate your animal. We all have what I call them animal totem traits, but basically every person has had time where they've looked out through the eyes of like an owl or a hedgehog or whatever, and then they've and sometimes we won't have an entire lifetime as that animal. Sometimes we'll just have, a few months, and we'll end up bringing the traits of that animal back with our soul because we've had that experience, just like any other lifetime, basically. And then we bring that into this lifetime. And so what's so good about tapping into that animal totem power is that we can embody those traits. Like for owls, it's wisdom. And especially seeing at night, because that really sticks out. But we can embody those traits and then bring them more into our physical life from that aspect, the tear. So yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of darkness here surrounding this tear. I do feel like, if there was any type of distress when it comes to seeing spirits, this ability is going to give you the power to basically get rid of entities. Wow, that's cool. So there may be a meditation that you can, yeah, I love the roses. Thank you. There may be a meditation that you can do on how to bend the darkness, but I feel that your eyes naturally do this. This tear has to do with your eyes, something that you have an extra lens on how to see. The Queen. Yeah. So Nyx was like the ruler of nighttime. So anything that has to do with nighttime, you don't need to fear that. You've definitely, now, when I look at the Greeks, the Greek gods, there's always an original soul that starts the position, but then after a while, somebody will want to move on from being that position. And I get that you have been in the position of Nyx at least 3 times, which means that you've gone into complete darkness and you're still able to see, which is a really good ability because you'll be able to see through spirits, the shapeshifter. Yeah. And I know that shapeshifter sounds real bad, but it's not always bad. You can use this ability to shape the way that you look because we have both light and dark within us. And so a shapeshifter in the village, interesting. And then I'm seeing this shadow mountain. Okay, let's get more clarity on the village. Oh, so there was, okay. So at the time when you were in the position of being Nyx, which you did this 3 different times, okay, which is like, I'm getting this, it's over 3,000 years of doing this. There were people that had a sacred temple to you, and part of what they did was they were shapeshifters. The people that followed Nyx would follow her into the darkness just about anywhere where Zeus is scared. The mask. Interesting. Look at how the mask, how part of that is shadow. So as you integrate, because you can look at these higher selves as being like a mask, because they are. Yes, absolutely. You remember being complete darkness before the Big Bang happened. This is definitely talking about that. Absolutely. Absolutely. See this mask? Every time we step into a role or a position, we basically put on a mask and we do the duties of that role. But I'm not getting a bad feeling from the mask. I am also hearing that your energy is very powerful at nighttime. Oh, you saw that on the thumbnail and joined. Awesome. Yeah, your energy is extremely powerful at night. The desert. Interesting. So let me see what the spiritual meaning of the desert is. Because when I think of the desert, I think about like how it can be really hot during the day, but then when it goes to becoming nighttime, the weather completely changes. It gets really cold. Okay, so the spiritually, what the desert means is a place of testing, purification, and transformation. This is definitely what it's about, where one can confront challenges and find spiritual growth and renewal. So I don't think you live in a desert, but see how the moon is dark I do feel like the desert, you have a desert within you, basically. And you tap into this energy quite often to renew yourself. It talks about overcoming challenges. And then, of course, Jesus' example of spending 40 days and 40 nights. There's a reason he went into the desert. He could have gone into any other type of landscape, but he didn't. And who knows, this whole planet could have been a desert before the Big Bang happened. It also talks about a place for God. The desert is considered a place where God can speak to people without distractions of normal life. Yeah, absolutely. Humility and inspiration. Its vast, bare landscape can inspire humility and quiet contemplation, leading to inspiration and a deeper connection to the divine. Personal deserts. A spiritual desert can be a period of feeling disconnected, unmotivated, or stuck in a rut despite engaging in religious practices. So, if you're feeling, yeah, people that I feel like you came from a space where it was just you know how the desert is really expansive? It was just like an expanse of darkness. And maybe quite a bit of rock, actually, is what I'm seeing. And then heat. And from that, creation started, basically. The judge, interesting. So, yeah, I feel like as these shadow parts of yourself come forward to be integrated, try not to get into the energy of judging it, because that's probably what the trap that most of us fall into is, like, if a part of our higher self that's darker comes forward, like Nyx is also a goddess of like magic. Like, she's very magical. And so I feel like when these parts of yourself come forward to be integrated, the worst thing you could do is judge those parts, because that's what's keeping them fragmented. Look, the one. Look at that. Look at that void, literally. So it seems like, you are the one. Yeah, that's why you're being called not to judge any shadow part that steps forward. Just like how I was saying, how I've read for a lot of fallen watchers and fallen angels that are actually here helping the planet. I do feel like the shadow energy that you hold is very benevolent. It's not something that you need to be afraid of. Even though it may look scary at first, knowing that you can transform the shadows with your mind, and that's an actual ability you have, you don't need to fear anything that's in the shadows, basically. Yeah, judgment trips you up over sometimes. Absolutely. It does me too. I go, oh, and then I have to remember that everything I've been told is a lie. And that basically getting back to the very basic truth of everything is that, okay, we're God having this experience looking out through these eyes. Our higher self is the most high. We are connected. So I don't get a bad feeling from the shadow energy. I feel like this is something that you can control. Especially if people are trying to send you any type of darkness, that is not going to do anything to you. And yeah, you may have somebody that wants you to feel orphaned, but you're not. Nyx, she lived with Erebus for a long time in the darkness. They're deeply in love. But then there's a time where she lives on her own. I don't feel like you're orphaned. I don't feel like any part of you may feel like part of your shadow has been orphaned. And that's why it's so important, the irony, to have shadow integration, literally, is because all these parts of yourself that are fragmented, they're just coming all back together so that they can integrate, so you can understand who you are. The vision, you will be able to control shadows with your vision, and not just shadows, but like literal darkness. You could probably make it darker outside. Yeah, I know people that have abilities like that. It's an actual real thing. And I like the vision here because, again, I was talking about owls for you, and look, there's owls on that card. So you have some type of night sight, like, what is it, night vision? Like, you know how people will have to put on night vision goggles and stuff to see? You don't really have to do that. You have the ability to see through the darkness. This is why the darkness is not a scary thing for you, even though reuniting with parts of your shadow may be frightening at times. You don't need to fear anything that's of the darkness. Just because something's dark doesn't mean it's evil. The sustainer. Without darkness, there cannot be light. So you see how the darkness is that first thing there in the background, and you're only able to perceive this part because of the darkness. That's why it's so important. It's kind of like showing you that you can mold and shape these shadows with your hands and with your mind and with your perception. This is something that not a lot of people can do. So I would definitely work with the ability, because I'm getting that you can put up a lot of psychic protection wards just by taking the darkness that already exists and putting it into shapes. Yes, the beginning of all things was nothingness. Exactly. That's exactly it. The vow. Look at that. Another bird. Another bird. That is so wild. And then again, this is like you vowing before you came into this life to connect with this ability and to connect with yourself, your shadow self. And basically, you made a vow to trigger this fault line at some point so that these parts of yourself would come forward so that you could heal them and reintegrate them. And you reuniting with these parts of yourself is going to help you be able to not only defend your energy, but put up like a shield of protection, is what I'm getting. The maiden. Interesting. Okay, so this card is interesting because if we turn it this way, you can see that there's a forest, right? Out of darkness. But this way, so this ability, this fault line triggered when you were in the maiden. Now, I don't think that you are a crone or anything like that, but I do feel like you are past this maiden stage. You're in the mother stage right now. Whether you're a mother or not, you're in that time frame, and you're here to be a mentor to people, that are in the maiden energy. You may find that you want to help younger people get inspired to take spiritual action on their goals, their yeah, you have come with a pretty big mission here. Eros, love. Look at that. Loving kindness. So yeah, you are here to teach people how to become more loving, wise, compassionate beings, which I completely agree is in alignment. That is your offering to the Most High God. See how that darkness has to exist in all of these cards? I just think that I've never even noticed this before, and I use this deck all the time, but now I'm like noticing it. So when people sit around trying to send you darkness, like the dumbasses that they are, they don't realize that you're going to use that darkness to create something that's beautiful. And you're going to like literally use that darkness to create a shield of protection around you. Also, for you, shadow beings are not negative. In fact, I've encountered shadow beings before, and they are ominous feeling, but they're not evil. Like I've encountered the Hat Man before, and he gave me basically a vision, a prophecy of what was to come, and it did end up happening. It showed me, it basically, I was looking in the mirror and the Hat Man showed up, and I was like, what the hell is this thing? It put its hands around my stomach, and my stomach went like that, like I was pregnant. And then his hands went like that, and I was not pregnant all of a sudden. And obviously I wasn't pregnant. It was just a vision. But I ended up getting pregnant and losing the baby. And I was like, oh shit, the Hat Man totally came and told me that. And I did not even like think about it. I was so scared when it happened because, it's an ominous feeling. It's not negative. It's just ominous. The womb, again, the first point of darkness when it comes to creating a physical human. And you being the creator, a lot of your creation has to do with your womb space and what you're able to manifest through that. Yes, it is an incredible role to have, being a shadow being. Absolutely. They're like time travelers. They travel through dimensions and through time. The stone, another process coming from darkness. That is so funny. Wow. Okay. So yeah, you have the ability to turn, I call it the philosopher's stone, but you have the ability to use this ability to turn your pineal gland from being calcified into not being calcified. And we have Thanatos, which is your child. This the literal son of Nyx. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Confirmation. So you have a very deep connection to Thanos. I personally love Thanos. I know that Marvel doesn't like Thanos that much, but the hunter. So, the funny thing is that to hunt you, these people have to go into the darkness. Not very many people would want to do that. And I feel like when people come up against you, they don't realize that they're going to have to go into your element, basically, which is darkness and shadow. They're going to have to go into your element to try to mess with you. People are so ignorant. They never would think to check who you are in the spirit and who have you been and what your abilities are, because that would be like doing too much work, I guess. The venom. I don't even get a bad feeling from this. I literally feel like it has to do with the movie Venom. Okay. So darkness is symbiotic to you. It's a give relationship. It's not something that just takes. People will think of darkness as it just being the destroyer, but it's actually not. Darkness is the beginning point from when all things like come into existence. Just like how they say, God, let there be light, or whatever God says, let there be light. It means that there was only darkness at the beginning. God had to literally be like, hey, let there be light for anything to occur. That is very, very symbolic. But it's also taking this shadow aspects coming forward at this time to take you back to the very beginning. Yes, shadow work is very it's good and it is humbling, but it's also, like it's a thread to your higher self, basically. By integrating these aspects of yourself that you would not normally go into if you were just, like Christians that just stay in the light, that never go within, they never check themselves, they never look at anything. They never think that they're the ones responsible for their creation. Those people are always stuck running from their shadows. You don't have to run from your shadows. You don't have to run from yourself. You know that your shadow self is not there to hurt you. It's coming forward like, yeah, not many do the shadow work. And those people suffer forever because of that. This mystic energy that you hold, you are a mystic. If there was a school for mysticism, you would do very well in it. You're also the starborn. And what are stars surrounded with? Darkness. Interesting. Wow. I do feel like people need to remember that, before light, there was darkness. That's all there was. Before life, there was emptiness. Yeah, there's some knowledge that you're going to bring back when it comes to the what was it? Umbra kinesis, the umbra, whatever it's called. With that ability, that you're going to be able to teach other people how to protect their energy. The mother, literally, starborn and the mother. So I wouldn't be surprised if your mother is also a light worker. If she also, and Nyx is a mother, like she was a mother to Hypnos, just the god of dreams, aka the Sandman. The threshold. You've definitely stepped over this threshold when it comes to your personal healing. And because you've decided to go within and find the answers, you're being rewarded, literally, with the nectar. Wow. So, yeah, you're going to be tapping into that eternal youth energy as well, as something that I keep getting. You may want to document your experiences working with this ability, because the super psychic children that are being born now, these star children, their parents are not going to be able to guide them on how to use these gifts, but you will. You'll be able, and it may be you guiding somebody through like a book or a written account or a video that you create. You know what I mean? Literally teaching other people how to use this ability. If anybody wanted to shape shift, working with their shadow would be a really good thing, working with that shadow energy. So I love this. This is some really good stuff. And I do feel like that this ties into what you're going through now, because you're just being called to look at anywhere where you feel like afraid of the dark. If there's any fear there, let go of that, because you can actually shape the darkness into whatever it is that you desire. But yeah, you're going to be able to help other people work through their shadow work. And there's not a lot of guides out here now that are like, this is how you do shadow work. This is how you integrate it. But you are going to come up with a system that will work for everybody else. And so by you making your awareness, like increasing your awareness of this, you're going to increase the awareness of other people as well. And I love that for you. It's putting on this mask and stepping into the role that you've already performed, but taking all of the knowledge and wisdom from that and using it to shape your own reality. When you start to actually play around with this ability, there's a reason that you can see things, like you said, in pixels. Like there's a reason for that. It's because you were made to basically share this knowledge with others. I do feel like you'll be able to find a way to put it into words, or maybe even put it into art. You may want to experiment with just using like black and white paint, and or working with what is it called? Pen, like black pen, where they do there was a card that had that type of art where they do tiny little dots and then it becomes a picture. Let me see where it is. Oh, kind of like this. Kind of like how those tiny little dots create a picture. I don't know what type of art that's called. Ooh, look at this one. This has got it in the background. The mirror's got it as well. So yeah, you may want to just experiment with drawing things. I'm literally getting that you can draw something with using these little dots, or you can use paint to paint something, and whatever you draw and paint will manifest into real life. That is not an ability that most people have. Seriously. Wow. Yeah, I would definitely put this ability to use just to see what you can do with it, because I feel like you're going to be able to cloak yourself. Anytime you feel somebody is spying on you, I would go into umbrokinesis mode. Oh, you're very welcome. And yeah, I would read more about Nyx as well and the stories that she's been through, because you definitely had a group of people that were dedicated to you. You had like a temple, and it may be interesting to find out if there was a temple of Nyx in Greece. Let's ask. Is there a temple in Greece? I'd imagine that there probably is. There was. I guess there's not. Okay, so regardless, says no, there's not known temples dedicated, which means they could have been destroyed, but there is evidence of her worship, possibly including an oracle at the Temple of Night. Obviously, the Temple of Night would be the Temple of Nyx. In Megara, also described by the ancient Greek geographer Pausanias. Nyx, the goddess of night, was not a major deity with large public temples. Interesting. Instead, she was often venerated alongside other gods, with a statue in the temple of Artemis at Ephesus being one example. Okay. So you didn't have a cult, but you had oracles, basically. And people also have household shrines of Nyx. Yeah, she may have had small shrines and households and by roadsides. Interesting. She was invoked during rituals and prayers, particularly during times of transition like nightfall or sleep. Also, I'm hearing that she was invoked when the time changes. Yes, about the ability to write things into existence. Absolutely. Writing it, drawing it, you're going to be able to do that. So I would play around with those gifts, because that's something that not everybody can do. But the people that will vibrate with that, they'll need assistance. And so this is all coming forward to prepare you to teach other people. And it may be younger people, because like I said, the children that are being born now are being born with like way more gifts than what we were being born with. Okay, so somebody wants you guys to self-sacrifice, but continue to do the work. The shadow work you're doing is really good. It's really helping. I can sense it. And it's not easy to do shadow work because we have a shadow that exists from just this lifetime, all the things we haven't processed and are still hurt by. But we also have a shadow of other lifetimes. And that's where, the past life stuff can come in. Wow, MK Ultra. So what is this about? Can we get some clarification? Does MK Ultra want you to self-sacrifice? Of course they do. Fucking idiots. I swear the government will go about trying to manipulate everybody through controlling the way that they think. I don't know if somebody in the government is bullying someone here. Are any of you guys being bullied by the government? That's weird. That message came through. But it is some MK Ultra bullshit. So that's something that why? Just God, why? Like what is up with the MK Ultra shit? They always want to, what they want to achieve is mind control. I honestly don't think that you can control somebody else's mind. I think we should only focus on controlling our own minds. The government does not agree, I guess. So maybe some of you guys are being bullied. Oh, you're being stalked currently. Maybe you're being stalked by MK Ultra. Maybe they had you a part of their program and you didn't know about that. How rude of them. Yeah, it's like gang stalking. These people are stupid. They think that they're going to be able to intimidate somebody into doing whatever it is that they want. What do these people want? Okay, I guess one card for the future energy. What is it that these people want? Spirit from the collective. They want your light. Says the force of light is with you. Revealing your truth threatens them all. Let your light shine. Okay, so you're a light worker. That's what they want. But why are they targeting specifically people that hold this light? People that are earth angels, light workers, star seeds. Maybe MK Ultra. I mean, everybody that's in MK Ultra that's doing these, I would call them demonic experiments, because what they do is they ritualistically abuse people. And then they do these, like, what they're trying to do is, okay, I'm going to explain it to you guys. Yeah, they bully you too. Oh, I'm so sorry. So what they're trying to do, you guys, is they're trying to bully you to the point where you, they're telepathically losers. Oh, they did it to your aunt. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to fragment you. Basically, they feel like if they can fragment your consciousness, then they can control one of those fragments. So what happens when you get ritualistically abused? And I call it ritual abuse because it's like an initiation. Okay, so when I was watching this thing about MK Ultra, it was talking about how there's first generation MK Ultra experiment abuse, second, and what they're going for is they're trying to find people who have third generation. It's their third generation of MK Ultra abuse. And why they're doing that is because they feel like the third generation people are going to be the easiest to fragment and then control. And so they want to break you down, basically stalk you and harass you to the point where you're going to, parts of your consciousness will break seemingly and fragment, right? Oh, you see her broken down in front of you. Oh no, that's another reason that they don't like your light. Yeah, because you probably literally helped your aunt. Yeah, these people are tricksters. They want to trick an earth angel into doing it. They want to trick you into you believing that you're not an earth angel so that then they can control you. These people will never be able to control you. They just don't understand that because they're being controlled. All of this mind control, this shit is all demonic. This is not fucking normal. For it's just not normal. MK Ultra did everything from using abuse, sexual abuse sometimes, mental abuse, physical abuse, to substances to try to control people. And they experimented on a lot of people without their consent, which is not okay to do. I think all of us are basically an experiment. It's a spiritual injustice, unjustified karma, karmic debt. These are hidden secret enemies. Whoever this earth sign is, they don't want to see you make it to the end of something. Okay, so these people were thinking that they could literally, sorry about that, you guys. These people are thinking that they could literally mess with your spiritual connection. Yeah, they thought that that would affect your luck, your fate, your fortune, your destiny, but it's not. Wow, surprise, surprise. There are some people this planet that you just cannot experiment on. These are people that could be a part of the CIA or DEA or FBI or whatever, NSA. These people are karmic. They've got a personal vendetta. Why, spirit? Okay, this earth sign could have contacted the CIA or some shit like that. I don't know why, but they did it to get you in trouble because they're criminals. There's a lot of politicians involved in MK Ultra and a lot of other families that are involved in MK Ultra. I've watched quite a few testimonies of people that were raised in MK Ultra, and they've had to literally do cognitive therapy. Yeah, they need to let it go. They've had to do a lot of therapy to get past basically all of these trials and tribulations. So what else do we need to know before? You could be dealing with people that don't care about traumatizing others. Okay. These people are going to come back. Like I said, these people that are fucking you over are going to need you in the future. This is why it's so stupid to do. Like, you never know. You never know who you're going to need in the future. So just don't do bad by people. These people are also going to hell. This could very well be why they want to come back. Look, I'm going to tell you guys this. Some of you out there, you guys have got personal keys that you don't even know you possess to access the tree of life, the tree of death, hell itself. You could open a gate to hell. Somebody is trying to study this. They want you to use your key to open up some type of hell gate. Even if you did, that hell gate would not negatively affect you. It would negatively affect these other people that are wicked. All you need to do, are being asked to do, is take a personal bath or a spiritual bath, do a cleansing ritual, that type of thing. That's literally what you're being asked to do at this time. Yeah. Call upon, your water energy, call upon the Holy Spirit, call upon, La Siren, Mami Wata energy. When you take a spiritual bath, it's going to get these people off of your back. You're dealing with a very dangerous cult. That's what this is. Government cult. And these people, their tactic is to gang stalk you, harass you, and bully you. That's literally, you've seen the signs a long time ago. Yeah. They're saying, telling on us. They obviously don't believe in God. Literally, these people don't. They don't. They believe in mind control, not God. And I don't think that you can mind control with, I honestly don't believe in mind control in this type of way. What I do believe is that an entity can control people and manipulate. Okay, if any of you are watching the TV show Welcome to Derry, the influence that it has over the townspeople, causing them to be really dark and really like judgmental and just nasty, that's kind of what I pick up on. And it's not that it's it, but it's, that's kind of what these demonic forces that these MK Ultra people subscribe to, that's the influence that they can have. They can make people be really dark and really, really wicked. And again, this is all, you guys need to look at, it's the entities. You can feel it. Yeah. You guys need to look at why is it that you're the third generation? So you need to look at your parents and your parents' parents being a part of, whether they know that they were a part of MK Ultra or not, right? Blessings with Palo Santo and tobacco. Oh, thank you. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. And being attacked and compared to these fears, because these people want to fragment your mind. They want to make you feel like you have to be dependent on medication. And I'm not telling anybody to stop taking their meds, but I'm literally just telling you what MK Ultra's agenda is. If they can control the world through making the world subscribe to pharmakeia, which is another demon, it's a pharmaceutical demon, then they feel like they can fragment people and keep them in a certain frequency. What MK Ultra does not want to happen is our awareness to ascend outside of our human apparatus here. Basically, they don't want us having an ascension. They don't want us all reaching Christ consciousness, and they definitely don't want us connecting to God. And so that's why they're doing these ridiculous, I want to say ritualistic abuse. Because if they ritualistically do the same type of abuse to different people, and they feel like they can, convince somebody else to go against their better judgment, basically. That's why you're just being asked to cleanse your energy of these people. I don't think that if MK Ultra was successful at this shit, 100% successful, they wouldn't be doing it anymore. These people have a superiority God complex, and they want to abuse their power. And a lot of these people are weird ass politicians. So if you guys have any memories come forward from MK Ultra and being a part of that program, just know that it's coming forward for you to heal it. Okay. It could be some repressed trauma. But you are dealing with people that are witches and warlocks that do subscribe to doing witchcraft. And then they also do MK Ultra. So it's not that they don't believe in God. It's just that they believe in witchcraft much more so than they believe in anything that's positive. Yeah, once you've seen someone's damn energy signature in your kitchen, like, yeah, seriously, you can't hide that. Multiple timelines past other lifetimes. So these fucking weirdos have followed you from another lifetime, and they're still trying to experiment on you. God, what the hell? What is this? What is this? What is this? Like, why are they doing this still? Like, this is not to serve Satan. This is to serve a human, maybe reptilian agenda, but it doesn't have anything to do with actually like traumatizing people for the devil. That's not what this is. That's what they want you to think it is, though. But because then that's a trap. You'll be always searching down the wrong avenue to find out why it's happening. And that's not exactly it. Yeah, these people think that they can overpower these really, really dark entities. And these entities, they can't control people's mind. All they can do is influence. So MK Ultra, they are not able to control. All they can do is influence. And what they want to do is they want to break you down, and then they want to reprogram you to be broken, basically. And why do they want to do this? I mean, you would think it would be something satanic, why they're trying to break people down and abusing children, but it's not. It's all for scientific research. For the love of fucking science. These people are going to be begging for forgiveness in the future. Stupid dummies. Literally, they're still plotting this dumbass scandal. I feel like the scandal has to do with gang stalking and bully and harassment behavior. These people don't really have any power. So they've got to bully you out of yours because they don't possess any. Wow, that's pathetic. Love spells. Just be aware. Somebody is definitely trying to make sure that you're alone so that you can stay a part of this program, okay? Because if you get a lover coming in, this person's going to help you get out of this energy. And then these people, they won't have any influence at all anymore. Super weird. You missed the part about traitors. Yeah, these people are traitors, though. Oh, you heard about that, ex-coworkers? Exactly. These people are into politics. They want to keep you restricted in some type of way. Because if your light threatens them, then this is most likely why they're doing that. But they're not being told by an entity to do this. They're just doing this out of their own free will. bullying, fighting, arguing, blackmail, entrapment. Maybe they want to frame you or set you up. These people want to get you in a setting to where you're going to be in a room with padded walls so they can have full access to your energy whenever the fuck they get ready. And these people are not being given that. You have managed to escape imprisonment over and over again, and it's got these people freaked out. Yeah, you don't have to know who these people are. They're a part of the government. They don't want you to know who they are. Pick a card from the Twin Flame Oracle. Interesting that it would say that. And we'll probably close out the reading. I'll have to do some more investigation on how MK Ultra started and what in the fuck, why it's still going on. Because trust me, if they would have found a fireproof way to control people's minds, they'd have done that shit. They've tried everything from like subliminals and TV programming to like actually experimenting on people with drugs. And they have not found anything, no demon, nothing that can actually take control of somebody's mind and force them to do something against their free will. And that's what they want. So yeah, you're just being asked to cleanse your space of these people and rebuke them. Knight of Wands. Yeah, okay. So these people want you to link up with somebody that is impulsive, somebody that will turn on you, somebody that could be very rebellious. I feel like MK Ultra is going to plan on sending a lover in. You're going to reject this person because they smell weird. Something about their energy is off. You're going to pick up on their energetic signature and you're going to rebuke them. But they want somebody that's very impulsive and immature, hot-tempered and rebellious, but charming to come in and woo you, basically, so that these people can have dominion over you. That's what they want, is control. And the one thing that they don't have is control. 5 Cups. Yeah, they want to bring somebody in to cause a loss and grief, disappointment. They want you to be blinded to love. They want you to think that there's no way out. Come on with this shit. These people are stupid. They do not realize that in the future, they're going to be asking for your forgiveness. That is one thing that I keep getting. These people are going to need you to help them out of some shit in the future. Yes. Let's do the Reiki. Let's do the Reiki. So we're going to clear out this energy. We're going to do a lot of clearing now on the energy itself and on what MK Ultra was putting into motions. Confirmation. Holy fire, holy fire. So we're going to start with the mental body. Okay. We're going to start with the mental body. Just take a deep breath in. You can envision light going into your mental body, filling in your mind, filling in the energy. Okay, we're going to cut any cords, snipping any cords attached to the mental body, and we want to just clear that out. Okay, now we're going to go up to the crown chakra and give you a crown chakra boost. Kind of opening and clearing. There we go. I can feel it start to clear. And removing that blockage. And now we're going to go to the third eye and open and clear that. And to the ears, opening and clearing. To the eyes, opening and clearing. To the mouth, opening and clearing. Anything that was in the way of the throat chakra, we want to open and clear and heal that. Okay, and then we're going to bounce the aura. And we're going to clear out anything in the emotional body, any trauma. You can put your hands on your heart. The different layers of the emotional body. Okay, that feels better. And then coming into balance with the physical. And we're calling in your spirit guides and your highest team of light, highest light and resonance team, to also help recalibrate the mental and the physical body so that there's no gaps in between. We're filling that all in with light and loving Reiki energy. And we're calling it down from the heavens, bringing it down through our crown chakra, through our third eye, down the chakras, and grounding that higher light into the earth. Okay. And then we, again, cutting any cords and extracting anybody else's energy that may be in the flow. Pushing all of that other energy, just transmuting that to light. And then rebalancing. Now we're going to put an egg of protection around the aura, an egg in all directions here, front to back and side to side, in the entire aura and underneath us. Holy fire, holy fire, holy fire. And so this egg of light is going to keep your aura encapsulated in light and healing energy. So just release any stagnation that was in your field is being released. Any mind control, we cancel out and we use Reiki to heal that. Any negative influence, we rebuke and cancel. And then rebalancing the chakras. Going from the root chakra, rebalancing, recalibrating, to the sacral, rebalancing, recalibrating, to the solar plexus, recalibrating, rebalancing, to the heart, recalibrating, clearing, rebalancing, releasing, to the higher heart, the thymus gland, extracting anything that does not need to be there. Unifying the chakras, then the third eye and the throat, unifying them together, recalibrating, and then back up to the crown, recalibrating. And we're putting that protective cloak around you, cloaking you from anything that would mean you harm, and rebalancing all of the aura and filling it back up with light. Wow, that actually feels a lot better. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is for the rest of the day, drink water, because this high vibrational energy is going to come through and it's going to literally burn like a fire out anything that should not be in your field. So as this recalibrates, basically you just want to stay hydrated, right? And you can pray over your water. You can bless your water. If you've got selenite, I wouldn't put selenite in the water, but you could put it right next to the water. You want to basically be charging your water so that it's a high vibration, because our bodies are like, what, 70% water. So you're going to be intaking water. And when it's a high vibration, you can speak positive affirmations into your water as well, you guys. By doing that, you're like basically programming it. You're taking it from being neutral to being actually positive. And then as you stay hydrated, and I would, if you guys are having any type of stomach pains, it could be that you just need to simplify what you're eating. Maybe don't eat complex meals just for a day. You drink a lot of tea and water, good. Yeah, you could yeah, bless your tea as well. Oh my gosh. I would definitely be praying over your tea, be praying over your food, pray over your water, Make sure you stay hydrated and make sure that you just rest, because as all of this energy clears, you're going to like literally feel a lot better. Seriously. And I do feel like what we were able to do lifted something off of you guys. I don't know what it was, but it was something that was really oppressive. And I feel like it was somebody else's energy. That's why I was like, usually I don't go through just like extracting other people's energy, but I felt the need to cut the cords and just rip that person out of your energy. So if you start to feel, oh, you're very welcome. If you start to feel that energy, that oppressiveness, like heaviness again, I would go out into the sunlight. That's another good thing. Oh, good. Good. You bless all of your food. Yeah. And if you are feeling anything going on with your solar plexus or with your stomach, you may just want to do simple meals. Like when I talk about simple meals, I'm talking about like cutting up a cucumber, putting some salt on it, and only eating that, and then seeing how your stomach feels. Because for some of you, what I was getting is that the meals that you guys could be eating are a little bit processed and complex, which means that your body's got to try to break down more than one. Yeah, you felt like an energy was not yours. Absolutely. I felt that too. Yeah, it's kind of like when we put a bunch of things in our system at one time, our body tries to process all of those different things. So you can simplify, and you only have to do it for like a day or two to really feel the result of it. But you just simplify by eating an orange and then maybe a couple hours later having a cup of tea or having a cucumber, putting some salt on it, keeping like really simple basic meals that you don't have to, you're not heating the food, which means it's got its natural enzymes in it, because it's going to reset all of your flora and fauna type stuff. Yes, and when you call your own energy back, it does feel like a whole transformation. Exactly. Anytime that you guys start to feel something tug on your energy, that's when I would go, okay, what was I thinking? Who was I talking to? What am I believing? And then I call my energy and my power back to me, and call your light back to you as well. Because some of these people, they look at you guys like a food source. Okay. So just know that they're wanting to consume your light because they're voids on the inside. Like they only have darkness to offer. So just know that the more that you call your energy and your power back to you, the more dominion you're going to have over your own energy. And when you catch somebody else in your energy, cancel and rebuke them. Because sometimes the only reason that they can be there is because of a past life contract or something else that you are teaching them, basically. And so you learning how to manipulate and control your own energy is going to be crucial in this time, especially when you got other people wanting to control you, like literally MK Ultra. Okay. Yes. Got to be on the lookout. Just make a regular, I would set on your phone like an alarm so that every 4 hours you do an energy check, and that way you can be checking on your chakras, going through. I would go through and go, okay, how does my root chakra feel? Then pay attention to what you feel and what you get from that confirmation. Then going to the next chakra, okay, what does my sacral chakra feel? And then the more that you do that, you'll learn how each chakra feels, and you'll be able to release any energy that doesn't belong to you. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you guys to be in your own energy, because you guys do have good energy. These other people, they don't have good energy. So they're not going to be able to access their own good energy because they don't possess it. That's why they look to you guys. That's why I say that when these people will need you guys in the future. Yeah, you felt the heaviness for a week now. Yeah, I felt that heaviness too. So I'm glad that that is gone. Okay, you guys, I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Go do something you enjoy. God bless you. Peace be with you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, good. I'm glad that you like the Reiki. God bless you guys. And I'll see you next time. Bye.